So first time I met you was like, what, 2 years ago, commitment, something like that?
Yes, sir.
I made an ass out of it myself. I embarrassed myself. I called you by the wrong name, or I mispronounced it.
Yeah.
The other day, I was listening to Nelly, Batter Up. He says it took a whole lot of Turian just to get up that hill. Is Turian, is that from like Turian?
Nah. My mom came up that. My mom, my grandparents, and my father all came up with the name, and this is what they named it. It might be. I hope not, though. I hope not.
A light bulb went off the back of my mind. I was like, you know what? I'll ask him about it, see if it has anything to do with it. But I think more people are interested about the football aspect. Just what this part of camp has to be hard. So like, how do you push through the really sucky parts of camp?
Well, discipline will take you a long way, and Coach Collins harps on it a lot in our meetings. So just trying to stay disciplined, create a routine, and stick with that routine. Staying in the recovery room, getting treatment as much as possible, and really just staying disciplined. I feel like discipline takes you the longest ways, because when you're disciplined, it makes you do things that you're uncomfortable with or don't necessarily want to do.
It feels like there's a pretty good competition in your room right now.
Of course.
What's that like on a day-to-day between you guys trying to get those reps?
Well, I mean, it's a competition, but it's not like a battering around competition. Like it's about elevating each other, because at the end of the day, we're gonna all need each other, and so it's really just each other helping each other, but competing in the aspect of trying to make plays and helping each other make plays. But it's a friendly competition. Like it's not really like a bring someone down type of competition. Everybody's like just fighting to get on the field, help each other stay on the field.
Did y'all make any plays on Saturday?
I feel like, did we have any picks? I don't think so, but yeah, it happens.
Well, what's it like that first time? I mean, that's the first time you've tackled in a year?
Yeah, it's been a minute. It's been a minute. Definitely been a minute, but it feels good to just be back out here and be able to thud up, tackle, get people on the ground, and it's just fun. That's what we got to live by in defense, is getting people on the ground, making them keep snapping the ball.
It sounds like the guy behind me, Patterson, had a pretty good day.
Yeah, that's my guy.
What makes him? What's he done to really, earn some of that praise?
Well, I say JP, behind the scenes, he's just like a worker. Like regardless of whatever y'all see him do on the field, I feel like that's just a lagging indicator of what he does off the field. So honestly, JP just a hard worker, and some people may not see it, but we come in here and we work daily, and on the days that we don't have practice or mandatory stuff, JP's in here working and just tuning up his craft. I feel like that's showing on the field. So
you are it's about halfway point of camp, give or take. So what's at the finish line? What's the goal you want to really accomplish here over the next week and a half, 2 weeks?
Just really sharpening up, going into the season, sharpening up on little things like tackling. I would say coming out of my breaks more explosively, eye discipline, just the little things coming out healthy.
How much are you just thinking about August 30th?
I really just try and be where my feet are. It's take it day by day, but it's always a blessing to just be here. It's always a blessing to know that we have a game coming up on the 30th, and all the hard work that we put in fall camp is going to pay off on the 30th.
Biggest thing.
What's just the process been like stepping into this new role throughout fall camp? How do you think you've taken to it?
I don't really think it's anything new. I think it's just a matter of getting done what you need to get done, and that's pretty much what it boils down to. So,
how much of that is less about on the field versus just being a more vocal guy?
I think you have to find a good balance of both for who you are personally. I think that if you're a vocal person, that side needs to come out of you, because if you're not being vocal, you're not being yourself. If you're not being yourself to your teammates off the field, it's hard for you to be a leader on the field. So I think they kind of just go hand in hand, and it's different per person.
Part of being yourself, we saw the video of y'all at the photo shoot. Have you seen that going around? Yeah. What was the idea behind that?
To have fun. That's what it was. Yeah.
Have you made anything of all the reaction, people talking about it?
Yeah, I seen what KSR said the other day. I didn't, but yeah. Anyway, next question, please.
Just how you feeling about the room that you're in as you continue with your training camp?
I'm really excited about our room. I think everybody in our room is working together, and it's a lot of us, but it's a core 5 of us that are really practicing hard and getting the reps with each other to make sure we're all holding each other accountable when we need to be held accountable. I think it's a long season, and we all gonna have to lean into each other, and we know that, and we embrace it. So
When it comes to so many new players coming in on the defensive side, do they find their voice quickly, or are they relying on the guys that have been here?
I think that, well, let me ask you this. Are you saying in the aspects of the locker room or in the aspects of the team itself, or like in the football field?
On the field, yeah.
On the field, I think that there's obviously a learning curve, and like when you're learning new things, you hesitate a little bit because you don't want to be wrong and jeopardize the other 10 people. But I think the new guys that we have are doing a really good job of picking the things up and putting themselves and helping their teammates get in the best places possible.
I know Coach said that he wanted to see better tackling in that first scrimmage, but what were some of the good things that you all took away from that first time?
I think that when you play as one unit, you make up a lot. You make up for it a lot in other areas. So I think that like tackling wasn't our strongest suit. Obviously, that's something that we're going to emphasize the rest of this week. But like I think we did a really good job as a defense communication, like understanding like where we went wrong and where we can get right the next drive or the next play. Sometimes it's on the field. Sometimes it's when you go on the sideline and you got the boys and you're like looking at it together. Like there was a play where I was talking to who was I talking to? Man, well I was talking to somebody, and yeah, it's really a good thing and a positive thing for us to sit down and have that dialogue to where it's like, all right, this is what we do next time and fix it.
How comfortable and confident?
You look bigger. You gained some weight this year?
This year, no, not really. Well, since high school, I've gained a lot of weight.
Well, I didn't know how the red shirt freshman here. I know a lot of that is dedicated to. And hell, did you even take a red shirt last year? Right. No, exactly. So, but I know a lot of getting in as a freshman is trying to get bigger, stronger. Do you feel like you're at a point where you can be a down-to-down player in the SEC?
Yeah, for sure. I've gained probably about 40 pounds since being in college, so I'm definitely think I'm a down-to-down player now.
What do you think throughout what do you think you learned when you got some of those moments on the field last year?
I'd say that the sparing moments I played last year, I just kind of learned like the pace of the game. One of the biggest jumps from high school to college, especially the SEC, is the speed of the game. So just like that, I'd say.
How much of it is like you can't mimic it because it's a game versus practice?
Well, you can't mimic the crowd in the game, trying to get the noise. Like the noise is the biggest probably factor, especially like Tennessee last year.
Mm-hmm. How well, I know Davern was talking about the communication aspect. How do you think you guys are on a pretty good same page on where you need to be and who needs to be where?
Yeah, I'd say the linebackers do really a good job at getting us lined up every down, getting the calls communicated to us. Whatever Coach White's telling them in the headset, they get it communicated to the whole defense.
Coach emphasized the just importance of competition, right? Right now camp can be a grind. So is that sort of what keeps you fueled to get through the grind? Is just
for sure, competing to get on the bus is what Coach Stu tells us every day. There's only so many spots on the bus, so each position's competing, and then you're competing within like D-line, the tackles compete, the noses compete, and the ends compete. So yeah. Sure.
How much do you think you've improved like from your game? What can we see on the field to say, oh, that's a guy that looks like he can play some ball here?
You said what have I improved on the most?
Yeah.
I'd say my physicality from like last year. I was like maybe not playing with my hands all the time and like driving on the blockers. I'd say physicality.
When you're going up against the offensive line, who's a tough out? Who's hard to beat?
They're all pretty good. I'd say all 5 of them are doing what they need to do.
Does it get pretty chippy, mouthy, back and forth?
Nah, man. Not really. Not between me. I'm not a very much so like talking. Kind of just do my thing and go back.
What's the biggest thing you learned on Saturday?
Last Saturday?
Yeah, this past scrimmage.
The biggest thing I learned about myself
Either
is
yourself or the defense.
I need to get in better shape, better football shape, because we're only about 3 Saturdays away, and I need to make sure I'm in the best shape of my life.
Does that kind of come hitting hard on these days when it's 90 plus out here in the sun?
Just a little bit.
Do it.
So, it is the middle of camp. How do you make it not suck? Because it's hot out here. Y'all been practicing for almost 2 weeks straight. So how do you make it to where it's still fun to come out and go to work?
For me personally, I'm going into my final year, so I'm just like, I'm not taking any day for granted. Being out here and playing for Kentucky, that's just like, I'm grateful for it. That's something I do. But also, like as a leader on the team, I think it's just embracing like a day one attitude. You know, like, oh yeah, we're going into our 3rd week, but we still have to treat this like it's the first day. You know, it's a grind. There's up and downs throughout camp. But ultimately, if we kind of embrace that day one mentality that our coaches stress on us, I think we're doing all right. So we just got to keep staying to that.
What are some of the ups that you can share from camp that have been
There's been a lot of plays. I don't know. I know Wednesday we're going to some kind of camp to have some team bonding fun there. But like, there's just been a lot of guys making plays. You know, I've seen guys like Cam Miller, Quisenberry, freshmen who are extremely talented go up and make really contested catches. J-Mac. You know, the O-line's finishing in the run game. Farmers freaking putting guys on their back. So I think there's a lot of good stuff that gets you juiced, and I think we're doing a good job of that.
Speaking of those freshmen, I mean, you made some plays your freshman year. To be able to do something as a freshman, like, not only how tough is it, but what does it say about a player that they can go out there and be able to step in and make some of those plays?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that happens a lot for a lot of freshmen. I think people kind of normalize, and it's extremely unique, and you got to be extremely talented to be able to play as a freshman. And so some of these guys, I mean, are coming in, and I know Quisenberry was like Kentucky Player of the Year or Gatorade Player of the Year. Like, it's just fun getting to see him go after it. And it speaks a lot of volume to their work ethic and their talent to be able to do that. And so they just got to keep building that trust. You know, it's not easy to play a freshman, but they're doing a really good job of earning Coach Hamden's trust and giving themselves the best shot to be out there week one.
Well, speaking of the freshman in your room, Skinner, what's he about?
Yeah, I think he's a really talented kid. You know, he played a lot of like split out receiver in high school, and now he's kind of learning how to adjust and play tight end and kind of get the speed of the game down, but he's actually doing a really good job of adjusting to it, and I think he's really talented, so I'm excited about his future.
What'd you learn about the offense during the scrimmage on Saturday?
Yeah, I mean, I think we made a lot of good plays. I think we just got to clean up some certain things. And that's ultimately what camp is for, right? You know, and things aren't going to be perfect, but we did make a lot of great plays out there. And Coach Shea's literally right behind me. Thank you very much.
Here for 30 minutes after practice.
So I think we just learned that we got to continue to be urgent. We're doing a signal-based operation, so that's one thing Coach stressed, and then winning the pre-snap is another thing he stressed. Is like, we get lined up, we got to know our stuff as fast as we can, and being able to adjust and learn from what the defense is doing. So I think there was a lot of good and a lot of stuff to learn from for the scrimmage.
Awesome, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you.